90 blocks of water, 5 blocks of gravel, 5 blocks of dirt, 5 blocks of stone, 64 deep slate, and 1 layer of bedrock. We're doing not just any super flat survival challenge. We're doing a water world super flat survival challenge. I started one of these a while ago. I didn't record it. Honestly, it was years ago when I started one. So I'm starting another one now, and we're going to see how well it turns out. As far as I know, there aren't that many resources on ways to actually accomplish this challenge. I don't even think you can technically beat the Ender Dragon, but I do think it would be a really neat challenge to do, and that's why I'm starting it. And hopefully this is a fun journey we can all bond over. But yeah, it's I have my difficulty set to hard, super flat, like I said, ocean or water world, I should say. Generate structures is set to on. Bonus chest is set to on. Should probably come up with a pretty good name for this. So why not water world super flat? Super creative, am I right? Yeah, I'm really funny. I should have mentioned that. But yeah, so here's the gist of it. Here's the gist of how we're gonna do things. So we have a bonus chest, because doing this challenge without the bonus chest is borderline impossible. I'm sure there's technically a way you can accomplish it, but I'm not going to try. Now, okay, so we placed that one right there just so we have something to like stand on for the time being, and then we can craft a crafting table. Now you might be wondering why, how are we going to get anything out of this? There's just water as far as the eye can see. Well, there are actually technically infinite resources down there. Not as many resources as you probably want. That being said, we could use a door. We can actually go down there and collect some blocks that we can use to expand this platform out right here that we have. So let's go ahead and do that. And once we expand the platform, it actually opens up the possibility for a wandering trader to spawn, which is how you can actually get like a lot of different items in this game. I should probably go ahead and turn my shaders off just because it's making things a little bit difficult to see. So I'll just go ahead and do that real quick. And it's arguably just as if not more difficult to see without shaders. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter. We can keep digging down, and I'm looking at OBS. You can barely see anything. So we actually see some structures down here. It appears as though there's some ocean ruins down that way. Those are actually really good. And it appears there's a shipwreck over there. Those are really good because the loot that you can actually get from both of those structures it's incredibly valuable. There's also one over there, one right there, a shipwreck over there. Is that a portal? We want to try and go get some stone because that's how we get a furnace. We have some dirt now, which would allow us to farm. We just have to be able to get some seeds. You can actually get carrots and stuff from zombies. So you can use that to, you can farm those. While carrots are definitely not the most ideal resource on the planet, they are a resource on the planet, and we can use them. So I'm just going to expand out a platform a little bit right here, just so we have something to go off of. I may go ahead and venture out, see what any of those shipwrecks have to offer. Hopefully I can do that without getting too close to the to any of these ocean monuments right here. Food early game is really difficult to get. That being said, considering the fact that all of your resources or all of your items when you die float up to the top immediately, there isn't really that much of a downside to playing this game if you're not playing hardcore. These shipwrecks are very valuable because like I said, you can get a lot of loot from them. They also have a lot of wood, which is generally a little bit difficult to get until you can get saplings, which is considering the fact that your access to resources that don't just naturally spawn in the ocean is entirely dependent on wandering traders. It is very useful to have good access to wood. I wish I had some form of lighting, but here we go. There's another one over there. It does appear to be a little bit closer to an ocean monument than I'd like. We can still check it out though. Like I said, when you're not playing hardcore, or when you're not playing hardcore, you can actually, it's the consequences of dying really aren't that severe, considering the fact that your resources just float up to the top immediately, and you don't really have to do much effort to find them. A lot of the difficulty in the ocean, in the water world challenge is finding resources, as opposed to a lot of the other challenges in Minecraft. Oh, here I go. So I died. It honestly probably would have been a pretty good idea to use, to actually burn one of the logs I got from the starting chest in order to create some charcoal to get some torches. You can actually also use skeletons to, actually I don't know if you can bone meal dirt, so that's probably off the table for now. But if I do ever get moss, which you can also find in an abandoned shipwreck, you can use that, and that can actually spawn, you can actually use that to get seeds for wheat, which is also good. As far as like goals for this challenge, I mean, getting one of every color wool block is always like, that's always like a challenge run thing that people try to do. So that's definitely on the table. I also want to set up like a, I want to get as much progression as you possibly can get in a challenge like this. Oh, it looks like I have a skeleton. So I died to that skeleton, but it's no biggie. Okay, so I killed a skeleton. That means I have a bone. Now, there is not much that you can do with bone meal. Or, no, I don't even have a bone. Oh, it's floating up there, so I do have one. I actually have two, which is good. There's not much that you can do with bone meal at this stage in the game, but once I get moss, I can actually use that to, that it actually functions as a decent source of food. See, because right here, yeah, you can't really bone meal dirt, and the grass doesn't spawn naturally in a flat world. So yeah, I'm gonna go over here and try and see if I can get some more logs that I can use to craft more stuff, and yeah, maybe try and see if I can explore anything else. Oh, so these are stairs right here. It's a little bit hard to see what's what. Do they have logs? It doesn't actually look like they do have logs. That's no biggie though, I can just mine the planks themselves. Okay, so I got some wood right now. Not that much, but hopefully enough to create a boat, and then I can go around looking for more, I can go around and look for more, what are they called? You know what I mean. I can go ahead and look for more shipwrecks, and from there, I can hopefully get some moss. Moss is really the next big step forward. Either that or like some sort of crop. That's mainly what I'm looking for right now, because realistically speaking, I don't have any way of self-sufficiency until I get those. Part of me wants to create some armor, but I don't think that's necessarily the wisest decision at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and see if any mobs have spawned down here. Got another bone. It's also good to have some stone on hand just so I can use it to craft more pickaxes. Because weirdly enough, stone is a lot easier to get early game than wood. Of course, you get the wood from shipwrecks and you get some from your bonus chest, but generally speaking, it's a lot harder to get than stone early game before you have any access to trees. Now, as it's becoming nighttime, I'm gonna head back down there and try and see if I can mine out that area a little bit more. I'm gonna create a stone pickaxe just for better durability. Oh, I'm gonna go see what things look like on the surface. I'm gonna expand my platform out a little bit more. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a wandering trader spawned in at some point. Those are really important. If I have stuff to trade him, though, it might be worth creating a stone sword, but I'm... It looks like over there, there appears to be an ocean ruin. Okay, so we got some wheat for bread. That's nice. And we also got some coal. That's also really good. The one thing that we needed, though, is... The one thing we need are seeds. So wheat for bread right now is good temporarily, but it's not a good permanent... it's not a permanent solution to our problem. It appears there are some drowned over there, too, so... I doubt I can take them now. I'm just gonna go back up to the surface and try and head to the other ocean ruin and see what I can get there. I really want to explore that one right there, but it's so close to the ocean monument that I'm a little bit worried about it. Honestly, I think I can craft a shield, and I think that would actually make the creepers a little bit less dangerous. I'm gonna go. I think I actually did have a piece of charcoal that I could use to create a torch that lets me light down there. That way I can create like a more intentional mob spawning area instead of just having that entire area down there be for mob spawning. This area isn't gonna spawn any mobs, but I'm going to dig out a little bit more. That way I don't get bombarded as soon as I come down here. Honestly, if I could get some spiders to spawn, then I could craft a fishing rod, which would be extremely helpful to me. Looks like there's a drowning a nautilus. Honestly, I don't know how dangerous those are, so hopefully we can steer clear. If not, I'm sure I can handle it. Oh, there's a trident guy. That's really not good. I can just let them come to me and I can knock them away as they get closer. Okay, I died, but thankfully I know the general direction of where I went in, so I could go there. My items should float back up. Probably some drown are going to pick some stuff up, but hopefully I still have a weapon that I can use. It probably would have been a good idea to use some of the iron that I picked up to craft some armor, but not much I can do about that now. Well, that's a saddle. That's kind of nice. Probably never going to get to use it, though, but it's kind of nice. Some bamboo. Okay, thank God. Okay, bamboo can be used for wood. Honestly, when you really think about it, like when you're regularly playing Minecraft, you really don't think about a lot of like the miscellaneous resources, like coal, for example. Like, if you're exploring ocean ruins, there's a good chance that you're not really in a shortage of coal. But if you look at challenges like this, which typically I doubt are considered whenever Mojang's actually developing the game, finding coal in an ocean ruin is actually kind of a lifesaver when you really think about it. I really want to get a wandering trader. That's like the utmost important. That's like my top goal right now, is to get a wandering trader. A name tag. That's not bad. In case I get a zombie villager, I can name it. I should be able to get a splash potion of weakness in this game. I think it requires going to the Nether, but if I'm able to go to the Nether, I'm able to get a splash potion of weakness. Okay, so I started building. It's been like over a day now, but I've started building a mob farm, and we finally got a wandering trader. It's been so long. Like, the amount of unrecorded time and time recorded that I'm probably just going to cut out of the video that I've been waiting is insane. But we finally have a wandering trader. Let's see what he has. Okay, hay bale for an emerald. That's not bad. I have a lot of wheat that I can turn into hay bales so that I can trade them for some other stuff. Dark oak sapling. Oh, that's not the greatest. Spruce sapling is pretty good. Let's see. I think I'll probably buy some spruce saplings off of him. I'll have to go get my dark oak sapling. Isn't, like I said, it's not the greatest since you need 4 of them in order to actually make a tree. So I'm gonna go for a spruce sapling, which is pretty good. Our flower, I mean, I can bone meal flowers in order to, but can I bone meal them on dirt? I honestly don't know. I'm gonna buy a golden dandelion. Why not? Why not? You know, we're just gonna see what happens. Can I bone meal this on dirt? Can I? Where's my bone meal? No, I can't. Can you even bone meal a golden dandelion? I honestly don't know. But anyway, we have spruce trees now. We have trees, which is access to, which means we have access to a lot of stuff, which is really good. Yeah, unfortunately, no moss, but it's not the end of the world. We still have access to some good trees right here. Now we finally got the Wandering Trader. I think I'm gonna go do some more exploration now.